Victor Lindelof is in, Luke Shaw is in, Sekou Kone is steadily back and playing. Welcome to the United Sport. My name is Webb. Here is an injury update, but most importantly, a special focus on some key things I've observed about Sekou Kone, who returned from injury a few weeks ago. Welcome, like, share, and subscribe, and let's get it now. Luke Shaw returns to training and, of course, does join the team, and of course he's not part of the team that is traveling to Bucharest to take on FCSP in the Europa League tomorrow, but he will be training with the team and being monitored for a few weeks before they can decide how many minutes he can start playing with the senior team. The hope is that this time around he will stay fit. If he doesn't, there is no time to waste. Ruben Amorim will sanction his departure, despite being one of the first people to talk well and wax lyric about him when he got at Man United. So Luke Shaw could be a positive update, of course, at a time when Man United is desperate for a left back. A 29-year-old Luke Shaw fit, showing signs of fitness, certainly would come in handy. And perhaps even not to play so competitively because he hasn't been consistent in that. But for the young players to learn from him, you think there is a lot they can, because a fit Luke Shaw is arguably one of the best in that position. So that's the update, but it's not in the squad traveling. But who is in the squad? It is Victor Lindelof, probably the surprised addition to the squad. He hasn't been playing games since he returned from injury, but he has been training, so now he's okay and is there to give another option to the boss, Ruben Amorim, and perhaps maybe give him a few minutes playing in the back, because Victor Lindelof has got months left on his contract. Is running out in this summer. Certainly is one of those we should be expecting to leave, but who is going to take him when he's injured? Remember, he's on about £120,000 per week, and for the little football he plays, that's a lot of money that Man United would use perhaps for other things with this financial fair play or PSR, obstructions, if I would call them that. So Lindelof is there, and when he plays, he should be playing so that clubs can then start engaging to see if they can get him, because he can talk to other clubs starting now, starting this month of Jan, because his contract runs out in March. So that's the situation with those two senior players. But the interesting one is the youngster, and lots of you have been asking me about Chido Obi and all these youngsters, but mostly people have been asking me about what's up with Sekou Kone. Now, Sekou Kone returned to Man United's team, the under-21s, and he has been playing about 3 games since he returned from that injury he suffered in November. He has been back and played 3 games. So for me, that's one positive that we should applaud, that he's back and playing. Now, he played against Aston Villa for the under-21s, that is. He played against Aston Villa, he played against North Zealand, he played against Brighton. And in all the 3 games, the team was playing a different system. They played a 4-3-3, where he played on the right-hand side of the mid-3. Then they played a 4-2-3-1, where he played as one of the 2 central midfielders. Then he played in the Ruben Amorim 3-4-2-1. That was in the 2-1 lost to Aston Villa, and that is the squad. And I'm mostly interested in that one because this is the system that United is playing now under the current head coach. So I think they introduced that system because United's academy kids never really played that system. They introduced it because this is now what the senior team plays, and they want to maintain that identity so that they get players used to they get players to understand how they are supposed to play in that system. So he plays as one of the 2 central midfielders in the system. And I was watching highlights of the game against North Zealand, and you felt, first of all, he's looking okay. For someone who was on crutches when he got injured, you felt he was okay. He was aggressive and fearless to go into tackles, getting himself a lot on the ball. He wasn't shy, so he was actually the guy trying to make the team play, perhaps even more than Morehouse, but he tries to make the team play by getting himself on the ball and then knows when to spread it, when should we go wide, when should we go a bit higher and stuff like that. So you could see his understanding of the game is really something good, and I thought that was a commendable attribute about him. The other thing that I observed about him is trying to play long passes. Got, I think, a little bit of a decent passing range, and that's something that has been lacking a bit at Man United. I think since the departure of Paul Pogba, United has struggled to find a midfielder who plays long passes quite well. Now, this is a teenager who is showing signs of being able to do that. So I saw that about his game. The only lacking bits in his game, of course, are the maturity in terms of the physical attributes. And that's why even when he's 16, they're putting him into these under 21 games where at times they do play against senior teams. Like the injury he got against Huddersfield, they were playing against the senior team of the senior team of Huddersfield, and you know how English teams are physical, and that's when he got injured. So I think his body needs to adjust and cope with the physical demands of playing at that level. I think that's obvious. He needs to be more authoritative. He needs to have more authority. As a midfielder, you've got to have that authority in you, which comes with age, obviously. But the basics of a midfielder, and I'm telling you, he plays one of the hardest roles, if not the hardest and most important role in the game today. I'm telling you, he has got all the basics, all complete signs. You can understand why Man United paid £1 million to a team in Mali, a team in Africa, to directly get him into their academy. That is Guidas FC. So there is a player in Sekou Kone. And where we are headed, and we know that United won't buy a lot of players. We might be excited about the signing of Patrick Dogu, but United won't sign so many players. The plan is to focus on these youngsters who they paid for a long time ago and try to promote to build them into good senior players. Now, Sekou Kone definitely has got all these signs and attributes about his game that he can quickly be developed and grow into a proper senior player for the team. In 2 years or 3 years, when he's probably at Kobe's age, because he has got the natural skills and attributes, but just time for him to grow in everything and become better to a level that he can match. So I think it's a good time for them to be introducing him to this, because United will need these young players. They will need to focus a lot on them in the near future, as they do start seriously with the rebuild. So you can imagine Kone adding, and I don't think Man United is going to buy a central midfielder. So you can imagine Kone adding to Toby Collier, then you've got Ugarte definitely there already. Bruno perhaps will still be there, to lead the youngsters. You cannot just keep them alone. Then Kobe Maino. So you can see that the midfield, even when Casemiro and Christian Eriksen leave, the midfield could have some young players groomed already for continuity, and it's just a matter of the boss selecting one after the other who fits into what he's playing. For now, it's Toby Collier in the lead, but a few seasons ago it was Kobe. So anyone can still come up and get their chance into the senior team. You'll love to see this sort of continuity plan that Ineos and the team there at Man United has put in place to try and ensure that we don't panic during transfer windows, but always first look within to find solutions to the so many problems that we are definitely going to have as we overhaul this squad. We are going to reach a point where in each position we need to have two players competing with each other, but we can't buy all these two players, and all these players will probably not be among the ones we see. Only a few of them will be there. So these kids in Sekou Kone, you're seeing there, Godwill Kukonki was playing in the middle of the back three. Talking players like Ethan Whitley, players like Chido Obi, Dan Gore, name them, Ugeneye. All these players in the future, 1.5, 2 years from now, will have a big time opportunity to sneak into the senior team and hope to give a good account for themselves. So I love personally what I'm seeing. I loved what Sekou Kone did. I was most interested in seeing how okay he is after that injury. And guys, I don't think he suffered a major setback in his development after watching clips of him. So that's where Man United is at in terms of injuries and what's going on with these players. So that drop down in the comment section, and you can of course ask and comment, but also let me know in your view whether you think Manchester United's youth, the recruitment in terms of youth, is looking good. Does it look good for you? Because there was a colleague of mine who was telling me United seems to just be going for any available youngin. Because they don't have money, they cannot afford the young players, they just seem to be going for anyone and everyone. I don't think so. I think this is a well thought, well smart, these are smart recruitments that are being made, if you ask me. I think they are smart recruitments and intentional at that. So let me get your opinion about it. Like, share and subscribe as well. And let me catch you later, fam, because we do have a game tomorrow, and certainly later on I will be coming here to talk proper about it. Subscribe. Peace, love, and harmony.